The Cowboys didn't even play on Sunday, but they already have another reason to pull off a much needed trade after week 7, and that happened since the early hours of Sunday. Welcome everyone into A to Z Sports Dallas Primetime. I am your host, Mauricio Rodriguez, streaming with you live every Sunday and Thursday night at 8 p.m. Central, although these 10 days or so, I'll be on the road, so naturally we won't be able to have a live show. However, you'll get the primetime content as always. You know that is always first and foremost. And today, what we'll do is we'll talk about what happened early in the hours of on Sunday when the Jaguars played in London against the New England Patriots. You know who caught my eye? Tank Bigsby, the running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I'm not here to talk about whether or not the Cowboys should be trading for someone like Tank Bigsby. I came here to talk about the Cowboys maybe needing to trade for the other Jaguars running back who happened to be dealing with a hamstring injury and thus did not play on Sunday. But I was in the early morning, I was looking at Tank Bigsby run on the Patriots, go for 118 yards, and I couldn't help but wonder, did the Jags really need Travis Etienne? And I do think the Cowboys could use him. And let me tell you something, last week we talked about whether or not Dallas would be a buyer at the trade deadline in November 5th. And I'm a pessimist in that sense because the Cowboys are talking about liking their own guys. They're talking about Ezekiel Elliott. They're talking about Dalvin Cook. They're talking about Rico Dowdle. So I would not expect them to be buyers at the deadline. But I also wouldn't be totally surprised if they ended up getting a player or two, just because you can sense the desperation is brewing in Dallas. You've got an owner that is lashing out at reporters, which we discussed last week as well. Jerry Jones going off against the guys over at 105.3 The Fan, asking them or telling them more accurately that maybe he should get somebody else to ask the questions. So even though the Cowboys usually would be hesitant to pull off a trade like that, I wouldn't be surprised if desperation starts rising and rising to the point that they feel like they just got to do it. But anyways, I'll talk more about Travis Etienne today because I want to talk about that, man. Bigsby, as I said, he went for 118 yards. The Jags are 2-5, and Travis Etienne has not played a whole lot this year. In fact, he only has 55 attempts this season. To put it into comparison, Rico Dowdle has 59 attempts, Sick has 38, so it's not like they need him as a workhorse for that offense, and I would absolutely go try to get somebody like him, honestly. Let me just check if the audio is working fine right now, man, because sorry, man, I've got this on the road setup. Had to make sure. That was bothering me for a while there, but now that we know it is working, let me tell you this. I think you could get Travis Etienne for a late round draft pick. I'm talking a 5th rounder, a 6th rounder. And you know what the Cowboys are going to have a lot of next year? They're going to have a lot of 5ths. They're projected to have like 3 compensatory picks. Add to that their regular 5th rounder. They're going to have some ammo to pull off a trade like this. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Etienne goes for a more expensive price tag. But I think the Jags, man, they're going to be sellers. I think having Bigsby really would make them comfortable moving on from somebody like Etienne, even though he's perceived as this sort of, I don't want to say star running backs. I don't know if the Jaguars have stars like that just because of the context of their own team. But let me tell you this. Sick is just bad at this point. We've talked about this. No explosive rushes at all. Rico Dowdle is decent at best, and even that can be inconsistent at times. Not to mention, even though we've gone through 6 weeks now and this has not come up, the injury history is still there. So you got to wonder about the durability for Dowdle. That's only part of it. Zeke should be inactive at this point. I'm serious. The guy is averaging 3 yards per carry. This is going to be his 3rd year coming in at under 4 yards per attempt. He is not your top pass protector because that now belongs to Hunter Lipke, and he should be playing more. Deuce Vaughn, meanwhile, is racking up healthy scratch games by this point. And I wonder, man, if you're the Cowboys, do you really believe in Dalvin Cook? Because it's starting to feel to me like maybe they just don't believe in him. Now, I wouldn't blame them because just like Zeke, he is coming off his worst statistical year in his career, right? I think he averaged 3.2 yards per carry when he was with the New York Jets. You got to change it up. Now, with Travis Etienne, at least you know you're getting some explosiveness. I'll give you the numbers. He's got 8 explosive rushes this season. That is 10 yards plus. Rico has 5. And Travis has fewer carries than Rico does. He is averaging a solid 4.2 yards per attempt. Sick has 0 explosive rushes, by the way, to Travis's 8. And he's doing so behind the 23rd best run blocking offensive line in the entire NFL, according to PFF. So it's not like what is going on is that Jacksonville has a quality offensive line. They don't. They have one of the worst offensive lines in the entire league, and Travis is still finding ways to make it work. I want to see Travis Etienne in Dallas. Now, here's another thing. Travis might bring you a receiving angle to the position that you currently do not have. Rico, he can get dangerous in a screen pass here and there, but I don't think we perceive Rico Dowdle as a receiving back. I mean, I guess we could think and argue that he could do it, and you could argue that the Cowboys don't do it because of their passing scheme, but I don't think Rico is a pass receiving specialist. Travis Etienne isn't either, but he did have 476 receiving yards last year. And just to put it into context, the last time that happened for somebody like Sick, for example, was in 2019. 2018, actually, now that I think about it. Let me check that. 2018. That's when he had 567 receiving yards. I want Travis Etienne on the team. Now, sure, I'm talking about Zeke, even though Rico is technically the guy, but even I'm not sure of that because the Cowboys, last time they were on the field, did not act like such. They were giving the rock to Zeke over and over again, maybe because he complained about his own role on the team. But even if Rico is number 1, your number 2 right now is unacceptable. I know we like to talk about how running backs don't matter, but that's just a phrase that the analytics community uses to kind of like bring home the point that running backs in the grand scheme of things shouldn't be paid that much, which I think has been proven right again and again in the NFL world, or that maybe premium picks should be used in other positions like offensive line and all that. That is what the analytics community means when they talk about that. They don't mean that running backs don't matter at all. They do. And the Cowboys don't have good running backs right now. Maybe Rico could be a solid member of a committee, but the sad part of it is that you don't need him to be a committee right now. You need him to be the guy that carries Sick's decline and the fact that you don't have a legit proven number 3 right now. At this point, I think the Cowboys' desperation might be reaching a whole new level, and I could see the front office being like, okay, we need a running back. Let's go get one. And watching these games on Sunday made me think Travis Etienne would be a perfect choice. Obviously, he's banged up. He's not playing. I don't know how much of that is that he's legitimately hurt, or is it going to be a Davante Adams hamstring situation where the moment he got traded to the New York Jets, he magically healed just like that? It might be one of those situations. But if you're the Cowboys, why not give up a 5th rounder for a running back that could improve the run game? And you're looking at this offense. You're looking at Dallas. They cannot run the ball. They cannot protect Dak Prescott. The guy needs some help. Get him a more solid run game. Now, would that fix everything? Hell no. The Cowboys don't have proper run blocking up front. They don't have a good running scheme. They want to run inside zone over and over and over again because they struggle to find ways to manufacture explosive plays. But hey, Travis Etienne would surely help. So that is the show, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with this, and I'll leave you with this. I'm talking about running backs because that's what I thought about watching these games on Sunday during the Cowboys bye. But screw it, also get me a defensive tackle. Maybe that's a topic for another show, but we'll get there, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button for me. Check out the channel and check out the morning show with Skywalker Steel tomorrow. And in the meantime, I'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.